Hi, I'm Steve. What I want to do this week is routine an effect by Craig Petty called Chop. It's basically a chop cut routine using a signed banknote. The DVD that comes with it has I think it's a 7-phase routine, and it ends with the note appearing inside a lemon. I really like the routine, but I don't want to do the routine and end with a lemon because I think it gets a bit messy, and I've got a nice jacket and I don't want to ruin it, things like that. So I've got a few ideas that I want to work on this week. Maybe changing the last load for a shot glass or a pool ball, or maybe do this traditional kind of chop routine. I was thinking maybe we could try something switching the two notes for flash paper. So then that could bring a lighter into play, and this is a gaff one with a hole in the back, so that you could maybe load the note in. Basically, I've been thinking about this for a while, and the reason I signed up for this was I want to routine this and get some input from all the guys that are working here and from the other directors and movement coaches and stuff, and try and come up with a version of the chop that even if someone had seen Craig's version, they could then watch this and see a totally different trick.
Okay, great. So what if we created it as a parlour piece?
Yeah, that's.
And then you can adapt it later for a walk around.
Yeah, that's
it's much more difficult to go the other way.
Yeah,
it's much more difficult to come up with a casual walk around piece and then
scale it up.
Yeah. So why don't we do it for parlour and then you can
yeah.
go backwards.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think that's maybe where I was going, because I've just bought loads of stuff that could be final loads or do something different.
Okay, then. So the first thing that makes me think, because it's all takeaway and impromptu, then what situation are you going to, what situation are you in on stage when you come on with like impromptu props?
Oh, I see what you mean. So trying to think of like the backstory, why I've got.
Yeah, just a little bit of a backstory. It's whether you want to use impromptu props because they're obviously like ungimmicked or anything, or if you lost all your props, you can't afford any props. You're saying
maybe you can make a gag about this. Everything's very expensive. Who's like David Williamson always comes out and rips open a car. He's like, I'm not as good as the other guys. Just rips the card box and drops a couple, and maybe you could come out and be like, I'm just starting out. I can't afford the big keto box, the origami box illusions. So I've been stealing cups.
Yeah.
And I stole a pen.
How much is Craig Petty's routine?
25 quid.
£25. Look what I got.
Look what I got from it.
It's not even gimmick. It's just
not even gimmick.
£25.
And then I could be like. Well, it's the end of day 2. I've constructed this little studio, which isn't of the highest standard, and you can have a look at what that looks like from that point of view. Yeah, it's not good. So today we had Lucy in, who is a vocal and movement coach from the RSC, hence my beautiful posture. So it's funny, our business movement classes involves a lot of whoo, whoo, ka, 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 yang, yang. Which feels pretty silly when you're doing it, but actually when we finished the first hour, we all felt a lot more relaxed, a lot more loose, a lot more comfortable, trying new things out and being a bit more expressive. And I got some good stuff out of it, and so did Jake. What was interesting for me is working with Lucy really helped me develop my character. Something I never really thought of before. I always, in my head, saw myself as this very serious sleight of hand performer, but in actual fact I'm a lot more high energy and high tempo than that, so it doesn't really kind of gel the two together. So we tried some different stuff out, and eventually came up with something that we all found quite funny and was also quite entertaining as well. So we're going to give that a try with the director tomorrow, see how that comes out. So yeah, end of day 2, looking forward to day 3. Hi guys, so it's the end of day 3. I've moved from the basement studio up into the lounge, but we got some nice flowers and things like that, so every cloud. Today we had a talk with Roberto, who is a performance psychologist. One of the first things he listed was what he calls thinking errors, and he listed these off as catastrophizing, all or nothing, generalization, irrational thinking, jumping to conclusions, and literally 2 minutes before that he'd asked me how I was feeling about performing on the Monday night, and I was just a textbook case of ticking all those boxes.
Stage.
Yeah.
Now, if that's in your mind, and you let that sort of develop or stay there in the back of your mind, that's going to be a real inhibiting factor. So, do you think some people will be like that, very critical?
Yeah, definitely. We were talking about this, and the more he started explaining his philosophy and how he sees things and how to visualize the problems and overcome them, the more I'm getting actually quite excited about doing the performance on Monday. Initially I was scared of the 50% of people that are going to hate what I do and think it's rubbish and criticise me, when really I should be concentrating on the 50% of people watching this who are going to really enjoy it and think it's awesome. So, you know, you're not going to please everyone, and if you can't, no big deal, just enjoy the moment. And the quote he had was, enjoy every minute of pressure. So that's what I'm going to do.
I think that the moves are great. That's why I'd be interested. I'm sure you've worked with someone on the moon. You know the terrible the magic trick that isn't a magic trick where you have 3 glasses.
Yeah.
And you put your arm on the 3 glasses. You take one away. You take another, and basically, you know, so it's a bit. But the more you're into it, the more the focus is on those glasses.
Deadly serious.
It's. I mean, it's. I used to do a razor blade, and it was all of that with the razor blades. It was. You know, cutting that. These are really. I could die doing this trick.
Okay, so it's the end of day 4. Today we had Ben in to help us out with direction. That was quite handy. He made some really good changes to my performance especially. He also did some really nice stuff with Jake and Tim. It was interesting because he raised points that we hadn't actually thought about up until this point, and it's really beneficial having someone who's solely concerned with focusing on where things should be, what story's being told, are they understanding it. There are all little things that you think in your head should be quite easy and straightforward, but it's only when you have them pointed out to you by someone who knows what they're doing, it actually starts to make sense in your own head and you can start gelling a coherent performance. So tomorrow we're going to be working with John's brother, who is a director as well, and he popped in today for the last hour or so, gave us some really good quick tips, so it'll be good to work with him tomorrow, and then just the weekend and big day on Monday. Hey guys, so it's the end of the week, end of our last day as well. Today we worked with John's brother Michael, who's a director. That was really good. He helped us, or helped me especially, create more of a backstory for my character. We also worked on some technical aspects as well, different loads and vanishes, that kind of thing. That was pretty useful. We were doing it, the last day we were in the dance studio, which was good because we had a big, huge mirror, floor-to-ceiling mirror, so you could get some sort of instant live feedback on how you were doing. I've got to do some more editing now. I've got to cut together music, I've got some visuals that need doing. I've got to put the finishing touches to the film you've just watched. I've got to buy some props because I'm heading over to Davenport's tomorrow morning, first thing. But yeah, it's in a good place I think, and I'm actually looking forward to performing it. So this is the last piece of camera we're going to get, so hope you guys enjoy it.